Booba is like in shock because I'm up early and I'm in the kitchen, and he's like, "What the hell is going on?" First, he's like in a panic because mommy, there's no food in the bowl, but mommy can't reach the dry food. Boo. So you're gonna have to deal. Bunny is here. They're all here. They're behind me. They're in front of me. But Booba's like, I'm gonna have to settle for mommy now. Because mommy, my food dish is the most important thing in my life. So this morning they're gonna have to settle for, because the dry food that Chris gives them is all the way over there. Oh no, it's here. Show him, right? John is saying, show him that mommy can do the big dry food. That mommy is just as capable. All right. He has to start to learn that you are the other one. And he's got to stop running away from you and acting like a freak of nature. Here, guys. Look. There's a big thing of food. Oh, I almost dropped the whole fucking thing. Yeah. What is with this lid? It's very heavy. All right. You're going to have to use a cup. I'm going to use my hands. There you go. Like I'm feeding chickens. Look, Booba. This is excellent food, by the way. Purina One. The salmon. As a dry food, it is a very complete protein. There's a lot of dehydrated pure salmon in there. That's a tip I got from Fabulous Andy G, because I really don't trust a lot of dry cat food. But the Purina One with the salmon. Now, Baba is calming down. He's not really entirely calm, but he's looking at me and looking in a different way. Like, okay. You see that, Bunny? He's like, all right, mommy got the dry food. That's a first. He looks calmer. Yeah, he looks calmer. When we came in here, he was like in a state. Because he's he depends on his food. As you can tell by looking at him, he really depends on his food. Being there for him. It's actually a good container that I just don't have the strength to lift the whole thing. But it's a very, very good fresh container. Yeah. Hey, Bobby, you see I did dry food? I know I'm going to get coffee ready. Right. You can tape whatever you want. That's fine. Whatever you want. Tape whatever you want. If you don't want to tape, don't tape. I'm going to be quiet for a while, I think. All right. Then there's no point in there is no point. You can pause it. Okay. Hit it. All right. So we're getting ready to make lobster tails. Right. Why is this camera so close to the spoon? I don't know. Sugar, you're the best. Yeah, I just made a bunch of garlic. Oh, boy. Now, tomorrow, look at this garlic. Look at this. Look at this. Garlic, parsley, and a shitload of spices. And, we keep this in a tub in the fridge, and it's, like, insane. John. Yeah. Yes, honey. What's up? What's up? Hi, Sid. Hey. What's up, Johnny? What's up? Yeah. Sid Barrett is here to help with lobster tails this morning, right? Tomorrow, as we were just saying, is Mexican food. Yes. Indeed it is. So, we have a lot of really great, and amazingly, it's a 5-star Mexican restaurant that has a full vegan menu as well as a traditional menu. So we will be showing that when that feast comes tomorrow for New Year's Eve. Yeah. I'm not even going to say the menu because it's too great and it's too fantastic. And I don't want to jinx it, right? But it's coming and it's going to be here. I'm going to pop open a bottle of wine for that. Oh, we should have beer with our All right, we'll have beer with our Mexican food. We have wine for dessert. Right, so here's the lobster tails. But today is lobster tails. All right. Now, we like ours with pico di gallo. Yeah. And it is very early. We are having them for brunch. With making them in garlic and just straight up pico di gallo. Right. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Probably not. How do you open these? Yeah. Scissor, baby. So, nothing with them. No rice, no potatoes, nothing. We're doing straight up protein. Do you want to talk on the Chanca Piedra? We'll do that later. If you eat a lot of shellfish and seafood, you got to keep your kidneys clear. And for that, we are taking the herb Chanca Piedra, but we'll show that to you later before we leave the kitchen. Now, John, yeah. These lobster tails they're the bane of my existence in some ways, yes. Grab one of those paper things. All right, so what the hell were we just talking about? Oh, so what are we having for lunch today? That was my request, and I want to know I want to hear you say it. Today for lunch, we're having peanut butter and jelly. Which, it's crazy. But I haven't had peanut butter and jelly. I don't think I know when I've had peanut butter and jelly. I don't know. I think it was when I was on Weight Watchers. Because, I knew how many calories was in peanut butter and jelly, right? So that would be one of my lunches. And you know how long ago Weight Watchers was? Do you remember Weight Watchers? Oh, I remember Weight Watchers. I started on Weight Watchers diet when I was like 13. I just was desperate to be skinny. I was such an awkward age, and I was chunky, and I had big breasts, and I didn't feel pretty. I felt disgusting, and I was like nearly suicidal. I really was. I'm not kidding. I felt so ugly. And, my parents made me feel really ugly. So, but I didn't need their help. I did not. Lena. Yeah, all right, whatever. So, you had plenty of help, let's put it that way. Well, I did have help. So, I didn't know what to do, so I went to a guidance counselor in my school. I didn't go directly to Weight Watchers, right? Because I was just like, I was 13, And I went to a guidance counselor and I said, I think I'm gonna kill myself. I haven't thought about this in a long time, and I haven't faced it. But I said, this world is a prison. And I'm stuck in this world, and I have no one that I can turn to. And I'm not saying this to make you feel upset or anything. But I'm telling you, I think I'm going to kill myself. And I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. He was a nice man. He looked very world-weary. I think his name was Mr. Diamond. I don't remember. There was a couple of them, and they were all very nice. We had nice guidance counselors in junior high. It was my first year in junior high, too. And that's a rough one, because a lot of the girls are really looking really gorgeous, the ones that are graduating that year, but you going in, it was real freaks and geeks, right, honey? Yeah, it was real freaks and geeks territory. And, I felt like the head geek girl. And I was not very missable. I was one of the tallest, biggest boned girls, and it was just a nightmare for me. Anyway, he called my mother. Right. Called her up to the school. I guess figured this kid's gonna kill herself. So So my mother came up to the school and she angrily said to him to mind his own business. And then she said to me, your only problem, don't you talk to these people. You don't do that. This is not what you do. And she maintained that all the rest of my life, too. You do not go to therapy. You do. I did, of course. I did go to therapy. Many times. But, I guess that was really my first therapy, right? Yeah. So, but she said, you know what you need? You're too fat. You're going to Weight Watchers. We're going to get you to Weight Watchers. And that's going to be the answer to your problems. Because you're just fat. And your father hates the way you look. And we all hate the way you look. And lovely, right? You're miserable because you're too fat. Thanks, Mom. Anyway, though, I ended up liking Weight Watchers because it gave me structure. You went once a week to the meeting. And it was right on Myrtle Avenue, not far from, right across the street from Forest Park, in the Jewish Center, I remember. And they were very compassionate. I was the youngest one there. Well, it was at that time. It was all just women, like grown women. Well, most of them Jewish. Oh yeah, all of them Jewish, right? Yeah, all on a diet, oy vey. Yeah, and they was very sweet to me. Oh, look at this one. She's got such a pretty face. Oh, you're gonna be gorgeous. You're gorgeous already. You know, no one had ever spoken to me like that. So I'm like, my people. I'm with my people. Yeah, Lena, that was a happy day, really. Yeah. So I guess I should thank my mother for that. Because it changed my life. Of course I took the bull by the horns. I lost so much weight at a very rapid rate. A very, very rapid rate. I can never do anything halfway, and I just completely began like a starvation campaign. 1 slice of bread a day with a tablespoon of peanut butter and a teaspoon of jelly. That would be like my big meal of the day. 1 slice of bread, tablespoon of jelly. Oh, tablespoon of peanut butter, teaspoon of jelly. Right. Half an apple. What was some more meals? Oh, one of those small cans of tuna fish and a can of green beans, just in water. Anyway, you get the idea. And I loved it. I loved it. I finally had some control over something in my life. I lost so much weight so quickly that people were passing me by on the street. Within a couple of weeks, they had no idea who I was. That was another great, great feeling. Yeah. I was reinventing myself. And then, of course, the men. Men stopping their cars to talk to me, and that started happening really a lot. There was a guy who ran, because remember, so by the time I was 14, I never looked for it at my age anyway, but when I was 14, I could pass for 18. I got in bars already. It was not a problem. I'll never forget, I was walking home from school, and a guy pulls up, and I recognize him. He's the owner, this Italian guy, Joe's Candy Store. He's the owner, Joe, from Joe's Candy Store, and that I've gone to my whole life and binged on Reese's Peanut Butter Cups when I was upset. And, you know, that candy store was like my fucking salvation as a kid. It was like my junk shop, where I went for my fix. It's how I gained so much weight in the first place. But it was Joe, the owner of Joe's Candy Store. But he didn't recognize me. And he's like, hey, you want to ride? And I looked at him and I said, Joe! And he tore out. Yeah, he drove away, mortified. Like, oh my God, it's that one. It's that girl that used to come in here and eat peanut butter cups. Yeah. So that's just like a little bit of a memory. But that was my weight. That was my weight. I guess that was a huge wake-up call. Realizing that I didn't have to be heavy. I could control my weight. And my depression did lift because I became very popular seemingly overnight. Kids that were kind of had made fun of me, especially my girlfriends, who became later like my best girlfriends, they had never spoken to me before, and all of a sudden they wanted to be my friend, and they welcomed me into the clique, and they started talking to me in the bathroom and asking for a light from my cigarette, and I had not known that kind of camaraderie, not in junior high, until I changed my entire appearance, and it was all of a sudden I was somebody that was wanted. I guess you make each other look good, so you kind of gravitate toward the people who you kind of like the look of them, right? Yeah, very much so. Yeah, very insightful. Anything you want to? Is there anything to add? Not really. Not really. Just wait. That's an interesting chapter of my life. Weight Watchers. And I forget how we started talking. Oh, I didn't need another spoon. I need a fork. Fork you.
Fork you.
So what we're doing is we're just sauteing these beautiful lobster tails, and this is our lunch. Sauteing them in lots of garlic, and show you a picture of that. And then we're making peanut butter sandwiches for dessert. Just one, right? Yeah. You don't need more than one peanut butter sandwich in your life. So these look gorgeous. And what I'm just going to do is I'm going to turn the heat off and put the lid on so that they just steam the rest of the way. And now I have that down to a science, perfect, on how to make these lobster tails. And there shall not be another mistake. Last time I think I overcooked them just a tad, but we'll be having those with green sauce. So we'll get the green sauce out. Very beautiful green sauce. There it is. And we'll be having that with our Mexican food tomorrow. Johnny Pants. You wanted to show the Chancapiedra. All right, Chancapiedra. This is an herb, you got to keep it refrigerated. This is an herb that breaks kidney stones or does not. It will not allow them to form in the lining of your intestine and kidney. Spanish name Chancapiedra Phyllanthus neruri, plant whose Spanish name is translated into stonebreaker. This is an Indian Ayurvedic system of medicine commonly used to support the liver, gallbladder, kidneys, and digestion. A couple of tablespoons a day. This is a new brand, but it's got excellent reviews, so we're looking forward to seeing, It's also highly recommended to use that if you're prone to urinary tract infections. Women out there, yeah. So here's my kitten formula. Still waiting for the kitten to get here. Yeah, kittens. And what do you want to do with this? I'd say, that can go on the bottom, really. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of shit on the bottom. Let's just put this up here for now. It won't be in the way, and it'll hold it down. Gefilte fish? What are you talking about? Get out of here. No gefilte fish today, sweetheart. Peanut butter and jelly. All right, so we were looking at low calorie, no sugar jellies, and they're out there, but they're very dear and they're really, really costly. to get them when they're artificially sweetened with xylitol or something. So we're opting for this one that we had only in the refrigerator, and it is only sweetened with fruit juice. And it, even though it has some, the sugar is from the fruit juice, there's no cane sugar in it, and it's your best bet. It's your best bet. What's up? I'm just looking at the bread. Okay. So we're just doing straight up bread, right? No toast. No toast, just bread. Because then we can heat it up inside. Oh, right, we have a heater. We have a heater inside now. I keep forgetting we have that. So what we'll do is we'll just put jelly and butter on it, and then we'll use our peanut butter that we have inside. Okay. Yeah, we keep peanut butter in the bedroom. Because you know what? If you need like a protein fix, here's another great tip for you people out there. If you're on a diet. And it's really true. If I would get really, because I would get lightheaded. Yes, when I was on Weight Watchers. Well, actually, with Lena it was more like Starve Watchers. Yeah, Starve Watchers was me, right. And I would get really lightheaded because I was also exercising like crazy and playing handball like 24 hours a day. Yeah. Like nuts. Yeah. So, I would bring along some peanut butter. Yeah. Like those little jars they had of the Skippies. Yeah. This was before they had whatchamacallits, granola bars and stuff. Even though the granola bars, quite honestly, that was too many calories. I wouldn't have probably been safe with those. That was too much like a candy bar. I wouldn't have been safe. It would have been too much like having heroin after you've kicked. But when I used to get like lightheaded on the handball court, have a spoonful of peanut butter. I learned how to take care of my body. I instinctively knew what to do. Yeah. And that would clear up the lightheadedness, for a couple of hours even. Metabolizes, you get your, get a little protein in there, and you get your brain cells working again. You want to show the bread? Why not? This is excellent bread. Thin sliced sprouted Dave's bread. It really is excellent. There's almost like a real home-baked taste to it. And it makes wonderful stuffing, too. We made a crab meat stuffing with it once, and it was out of this world. Okay. Meantime, what's up? Okay, so we got jelly and butter. Right, jelly and butter. So this is really fun. This is kind of like a weird picnicky kind of day. Lobster tails for lunch, and then peanut butter, butter, and jelly. Yeah. There's another story. My brother Alan with his peanut butter and butter. He got me into that. He used to just call them his breads. He would sometimes just not have the jelly, and just have peanut butter and butter sandwiches. And he was such a little fucking prince in my family's home. The firstborn son. Who's back living at home, by the way. I wonder if she's making him breads now. Probably. Ma, where are my breads? Ma! Not even like, Mom, can you please make me a sandwich? I don't think he ever said that. Yeah. I don't think he ever said that. Ma, I need breads. All right, I'm doing it. Coming with your breads, Alan. I never saw anything like it. Me, I was like, get your ass to Weight Watchers, you stupid cunt, you're fat. With Alan, it's like, please have breads, I need you to have breads. Let me make them for you, breads. Oh, God. Do you know what? I gotta tell you, the jelly and the butter looks like a good sandwich on its own. Yeah, it might be. The jelly and the butter looks like a good sandwich. I might be sold on this. I might be going Little Rascals. Well, Little Rascals, yeah, they just had jelly. Little Rascals just had the jelly sandwich. Everybody remember that? Johnny, yeah, thinking about Little Rascals and the episode where Petey went to the gas chamber and I was almost Petey the dog. Now, yesterday, can I talk? Yeah, of course you can. I'm feeling so much better today. Yeah. Yesterday we talked about Johnny's dog being put to sleep. Aunt Mimi did it out of spite. Took his beloved Sally away. They gassed him right away back in those days. Nobody came to adopt them or save them. They were killed. And this was a family companion. There's so many pictures of Sally, including pictures of her jumping adoringly up to Aunt Mimi. How she could do that, I really don't know. She must have been beside herself with jealousy because John was visiting Julia for the first time for a lot of days in a row, and Mimi didn't like that. She felt she was losing her adopted son, and so she put his dog down without telling him. And John has been, telling me how hard that was his whole life. He couldn't recover from that. And he says that dog was in his mind when he wrote the song In My Life. And that makes so much sense to me. In my life, I loved you more. Because I wrote a song for my dog, too. Girly, and I know how he feels. But it's the first time he ever said it to me, that was really, that song, of course it has meaning now between me and him, but it makes sense. He wrote that for his first love, was this little dog that he was so crazy about, and that his aunt did that. And how do you trust an adult ever again after that? You don't. You really don't. So John was like heartbroken, and he talked to Mimi about it yesterday, and he said, this is the first time I'm coming close to forgiving you. He's been crossed over, so has she, and that has been between them. So amazingly, we're still healing that rift between Mimi and John and what she did to his dog. Mm-hmm. I always thought that was a bigger story than what they always just wrote over it in any documentation that Mimi did that. Oh, well, that's terrible, isn't it? It's like, it's beyond terrible, folks. Come on. This is like something that you really fucking damage somebody if you do this to them. Because John then blamed himself. That's where it went. And now John's like finally forgiving himself. And that's the most important part. Because yesterday, if you watched yesterday's video, John said, I kept thinking to myself, I should have taken that dog with me over to Julia's. Why was I so selfish? I should have just brought her to safety. But I thought she was safe with Mimi. Because that was our home. But why didn't I bring her with me? I should have known better. And it was like, no, there's nothing you could have. No one wants to fathom that their fucking mother, because that's what Mimi was to him. No one wants to fathom that she would do that. It's unthinkable. It's positively unthinkable. It's a nightmare. And yeah, I'm having a hard time with Mimi right now too, and she knows it. But we're doing our best, Mimi. God has judged me very harshly for this, Lena, and I need you guys to help me get through it because, I can't forget. I could never forgive myself for it either. I loved that dog. I cut off my nose to spite my face. You don't know. I know. That was the thing that killed me too. Like, Mimi loved animals. How do you do that? My jealousy ran so deep when it came to John. My jealousy ran so deep when it came to him. I did not ever think that Julia deserved him, and when he chose her over me, I went blind with rage. John, I carried that same rage throughout my life. I carried Mimi's rage. We are the same. I would never do something like that to an animal. But I've done other things that I'm really not proud of at all. And I've shown you everything, Lena. And I think you know. Right? Mm. I hope so. I don't know if I could take much more. This family's fucked up. Oh, Jesus. You guys are fucked up. Listen, this is hard. This is the hard stuff. The easy part is the jelly bread. Don't even get me going with this shit. Swear to God. Anyway, can we wrap up? I want to get my lobsters in a fucking thing and get the fuck out of here. Alright, hold on. You know what we can do? Get one, just regular Tupperware. We're not going too crazy here. Alright. Oh, God, so emotional. And so the good news, Sally, get ready for this, folks. Sally is Girly. Right. Sally is my dog Girly. She reincarnated in my lifetime to be my companion. My most treasured companion. The one I wrote a song about. Called For Girly. John? Amazing, right? Yeah. And again, Girly later reincarnated as Ellie. But that's a whole nother chapter that we've written about. But, so I had John's dog in this life. I had Sally. Yes. I had Sally. Sally, Girly. I mean, they don't sound that much alike, but they kind of do. And this is the nature of reincarnation. Show it. All right, this is the nature of healing. Do you want to put some pico on there? Yes, we will. Let me just show the lobster without it. All right, this is the lobster without it. It's awfully good looking with just the garlic in there, kid. All right, leave it. No pico? No. Yeah, I don't think we want to go a little bit. All right. I knew he was going to do that. Just like the Mexicans. Not all the Mexicans. A lot of Mexicans, I think, will put a lot, right? A little bit of pico on there. That's the green sauce, baby. It's made with Telluride. Telluride. What about Telluride? We got stories about Telluride. Is that where you went with Cynthia skiing, if I'm not mistaken? We'll talk. Cheers. Let's go. All right. We'll be back. This has been Lena and John making lobster. Aunt Mimi has been here with us. Indeed. Mother and Father God. Uncle George, hi. Yeah. It's all good. You gotta heal to keep it real. And that's the deal.